Hey everyone, today we are writing a viral cold email that I saw on LinkedIn. I'm showing you exactly how you can use Clay to rewrite that viral email and produce thousands of those within minutes to help you generate new leads using cold email. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, hi, my name is Hans. I'm very much into cold email and into Clay. If you want to learn more about me, check out my website, hansdekker.net. For now, let's dive into the action. And by action, I mean reading, which we all love to do. So I saw this email the other day on LinkedIn, a post by Rapolas, I hope I'm pronouncing it all right, who was the new head of sales at a company that I actually used to work for, which is why he came up on my timeline at Growbots. And he said, okay, many have asked me what sort of email would you respond to, which is great info to know what types of email people actually respond to, right? And especially since he's a head of sales, then his opinion matters a lot to us. So I was, instantly intrigued by that. So great hook. Props for that one. And I started looking into the emails. So here's the email saying, "Hey, Rapolas, here goes nothing. Carrying a team of 10 quota hitting account executives at Watergraph. I'm sure you have plans to build on that success at Robots. Well, know you're skilled at hiring or coaching reps and systematizing onboarding. As you take on a higher level of responsibilities, you'll want to streamline this process. We've helped, then there's the value proposition. Can I share more, which is what we call a soft CTA, and then PS section. So it's really relevant personalization, as he already mentioned. So we can check that out in a second. They basically took things that he has mentioned in his experience right here. So he mentions right here that he led a team up to 10 account executives. Almost all of them, they hit their quota. And then he had other skills in there that he also mentioned. So that's very interesting. So they got some of his skills and some of his experience, and altogether, it's a really, really strong cold email. Especially if you're sending it to someone who just started, like two, 3, up to 6 months ago, the new company, then it's extra relevant, right? Which is usually a really good trigger to reach out to people if they just started a new leadership position. So then when I saw that, I naturally figured, you know what? I want to reverse engineer that. I want to be able to send cold emails like this one at scale, personalized like this one at scale. And thanks to Clay, we are able to. Previously, you would be able to, but it would take a lot of manual work or building custom scrapers or what have you. Now we have Clay, so we can reverse engineer that. This is the email. I wrote it out here. Then this is what it looks like analyzed. So this is, they take it from the previous experience. They get it from his bio, where we can take it. We can take, that from his bio, experience, recommendations, or certificates. And then this can be, okay, if they went up or down in seniority. And then this is just a random PS section. I'm not like writing a PS section. This email, you can add anything there that you want to be in the PS, or just leave it out, but everyone loves a good PS section. So there were variables that looks like this one, right? So hey, first name, here goes nothing, carrying a team of previous department headcount, department title, so 10 account executives. And so you have plans to build the success at Growbot. So I'll know you're skilled at skills that we take from LinkedIn as you take on higher level responsibilities or new responsibilities. So maybe they didn't go up in seniority, right? Maybe they went from VP of sales to VP of sales. So I would say new responsibilities, or they went down, right? And then there's the value prop. So this is like pretty much this part is just a constant, and here we have some variables, and it shows you how few variables go into writing an email that's really, really personalized. So then here we have three versions that we wrote at scale. Um, and I'll show you how I did that first, right? So this is a table in Clay. If you're not familiar with Clay, check out my free Clay course on my YouTube channel, where I'll walk you through the basics of using Clay. But what we did, we have a table here of recruitment leaders that we want to reach out to. And then first thing we did is grab their LinkedIn profile. Now that gives us a lot of information that we want to work with, that we can work with, about what they do, what kind of skills they have, but also about their experience. And if you remember correctly, we wanted to see how many people they were leading or managing at their previous company, right? Now we have a mix here when it comes to seniority. So we have, when we look at their previous job titles, so the one they had, some of them they were directors, or some of them were assistants, or some of them were like managers, senior manager, that type of thing. So not all of them, not to every person you could be saying, you were leading a team, you were carrying a team. So we want to account for that. So we first look, okay, what did they used to do, and how many people did they lead there, right? So we first check, okay, in which department did they used to work? So did they used to work in the same department? Because we want to know what type of people they were leading. So this case, it would be they were leading account executives, but in this case, it would be they were leading recruitment professionals. So then we, in our case, only continue if they used to lead recruitment professionals, because we really want to reach out to just experienced recruiters. So this, in this case, this person we would ignore, and the rest we would run with. They used to work in that same department, which is usually classified as HR, recruitment, etc. So that is good. So now we know that they what they used to do and in which department. So now we want to know, okay, how many people did they used to lead or did they used to work with? That is the sort of a tricky part. But from their LinkedIn profile, we know when they started and when they left their previous company. So we have the start date and the end date. Then what we calculate right here is how many months ago did they start in their last role and how many months ago did they leave their last role. So this person, 26 months ago, they started at the other company, and 13 months ago they left, etc., etc. As you can see, these are not people that recently switched jobs, but usually for display you would do that. Doesn't have to be. I just grabbed this table. So then what we want to do, we want to see, okay, 26 months ago when they came in, how many account executives were there, or how many, recruitment professionals were there. And then we could say, okay, you were working with or leading a team of that many professionals. I wanted to get a little bit fancier. So I said, okay, when they left, how many, recruitment professionals were there then in the team? So then you could say, you were growing a team. If that number is higher, you could say, okay, you took a team from 20 to 68, which is pretty darn impressive, and you want to compliment them on that, or you just want to mention it just to show that you've really done your research. So that is one thing that we're doing. So we have the role count right here, so we can leverage that. And then we have the role comparison here, which just basically looks, is this number higher than this number or lower? If it's higher, we want to mention that, so we have the word growing, so we can identify that later. And if that's not the case, then we just mention the role count. We just say, okay, you were managing, leading a team of 13 professionals, or 11, or 8. Then what we have here, we identify specific keywords, right? So we have a formula that looks for certain keywords in the job title, in their previous job title. Come on, there you are. And it looks, okay, if it says director, then it will output leading. If it says, VP and a couple other keywords, so if it's, if they were senior, it will output leading. Otherwise, it will output managing. And, we can use that later. So if we can then make a statement saying, okay, if this word says leading, and let me grab this person, right? So this person says leading, and here it says growing, because, okay, their previous position was a director position. When they started, there were 19 recruitment professionals. When they left, there were 21. So they helped lead the department and they grew it. So then we can mention that in our email, saying, as you were growing the recruitment department at your previous company, I'm sure, and what they mentioned in the email, you want to build on that success at your new company. So that is how we put it together, that personalization and these first lines, or these lines that people always talk about. And it's important to note that up until now, we're not using any AI yet, but we can already personalize the entire email. So just to show you what I came up with is, leading a team of 32 recruitment professionals. I'm sure you have plans to build that success at Growbots. No AI involved, just us going into Clay and putting that sentence together, right? Then here we could be saying, growing a team of 32 recruitment professionals at previous company. I'm sure you have plans to build that success at Robot's current company. If they haven't been in a director VP type position, then we could say from helping a team of 32 recruitment professionals succeed at previous company to leading one at Robots, because we detected their current job title is higher in seniority than the previous one. Sky's the limit. You can have all these options. You can just churn them out. You can personalize exactly based on what a person does, used to do, etc. No AI involved. Just you being a little creative with the data and the formulas that you have in Clay. So there's that. And then we want to account for the second sentence, right? So the second set of variables. So, well, know you're skilled at something they're skilled at as you take on, a higher level of new responsibilities. So there we just look at their LinkedIn bio. We run that through OpenAI, through GPT, and we ask it to extract any skills that it can find. Just a comma separated list of all the skills that it can find. Because these types of things, these types of prompts, I like to break them up into steps, right? You can say, okay, get me a skill that's like relevant to recruitment, and then turn it into a sentence, and then that's where you usually get some bad output because there's too much involved in the entire prompt and everything. So instead, okay, first step, grab me all the skills that this person mentions in their LinkedIn bio. Then here's a skill transformation step that basically says, okay, from this comma separated list of skills, find one or choose one that is like the closest or most, that is difficult, that is the closest related, I'll count that one, good enough, to recruitment, and then transform it into a way that I can finish this sentence. I'll show you the exact prompt if Clay lets me. Here we go. So from these skills, the comma separated list right there, choose one skill. Then there's the rest of the prompt. And then here's a sentence that you need to finish. So it will mold it into naturally fitting into that sentence. So I know you're skilled at X, right? So that is the prompt. So it will give us, attracting top talent, talent acquisition, healthcare recruitment, sourcing, recruiting. 3, 4, 5 out of 6 are really good, and one is good enough. And then what we do, we look at the seniority. Like I said, okay, did they go up or down in responsibility and seniority? If they went down or stayed equal in seniority, then we say, you have new responsibilities. If they went up in responsibility, in seniority, then we say you have higher level responsibilities. And again, then these are the emails that we're able to write with all that information, where we're saying, here was nothing, leading a team of 32 recruitment professionals. I'm sure you have plans to build on that success at Robots. While I know you're skilled at attracting top talent, this is a skill, right? As you take on higher level responsibilities, you want to streamline the process. So as you can see here, let's see, attracting top talent. That is a variable we took from there. And that's how we're able to create this sentence. Then let's see here. Here was nothing, growing a team to 32 recruitment professionals at Zepify, because we know they started with a lower headcount, they went up in headcount, so they grew it. I'm sure you have plans to build next set of robots. While I know you're skilled at, variable here, healthcare recruitment, as you take on new, so not higher level, because they stayed the same in seniority, new responsibilities, you want to streamline this process, your value prop, your CTA, your name. Last one, hi John, here goes nothing, from helping a team, because this means this person was not leading a team. So from helping a team to 30 of 32 recruitment professionals succeed at previous company to leading one, because now they're in a senior position. So they went from, manager, assistant, whatever, to leader, director, VP, etc. So now they're leading one. I'm sure you have a plan in place to build on your success. So slightly different sentence, because we detected some differences. Want to know you're skilled at sourcing as you take on new responsibilities. So this should actually be higher level. A higher level responsibilities, you want to streamline this process, etc., etc. That's how you use Clay to reverse engineer a viral cold email, and you use formulas and a little bit of that magic AI touch to generate hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands of these hyper-personalized cold emails at scale. That's how you write these. If you want to learn more about that, either check out hansdekker.net, check out the free course I have on YouTube. And who knows, maybe you'll even subscribe or stay tuned. For now, I appreciate you watching and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.